Yo, what's up? It's Pika. How are y'all doing? It is Thursday night, technically Friday morning, and I'm off today. I'm so excited. As in Friday. Thursday was kind of strange. It was all right. I had two interviews. Okay, not technically interviews. I had one interview and one like a second interview basically. So we introduced her to the curriculum. It was kind of cool. I was really impressed with the first one, Miss BV. She seems very very promising. So I'm excited about that. What else? After that, we went to go see another facility to see about how we could help them with their business as well, which is kind of cool. So my life is in expansion mode, no matter where I am. It looks like my 9 to 5 is expanding. It looks like my what do I call this? My side hustle is expanding. Actually, two of my side hustles are expanding. So I've been giving a new role in another venture of mine. It started off as just a friendship and connecting one person to another person, and now it looks like I'm in a position to really help market the business. So I'm not going to say anything yet until, I have stuff concrete. But for now, let's suffice it to say I'm in expansion mode. So I'm actually really excited about that. Let's see. Got home kind of early, so I got to pick up baby girl from daycare very early before she was actually done. All her little friends were like, "Oh my God, how can you get to go home?" So that was kind of cool. She was really excited. So we came home, watched a couple cartoons, did some housework, did some studying, which I have so much more to study, you guys. Oh my God, this course is gonna kick my ass, but it's gonna be well worth it. I just got to get through it little bit by little bit. Anyway, so yeah, let's see. I did some research. I am working on submitting some stuff because, let's face it, it is technically the 27th of October and I have 4 days to get some shit really sorted out. Tomorrow obviously is my off day, so I'm going to see if I can get most of that done and, keep going from there. Rolling, rolling, rolling. There is no sleep for the wicked at this point. But I do want to talk to you about expectations. So unfortunately, we all have this habit of expecting a certain outcome. We expect for things to go a certain way. We expect for things to only happen a certain way. We forget that the universe is capable of so much more. So when we limit our thinking and then get disappointed, there's really nothing we can do. We got to slap ourselves and start over. Basically, expectation is the root of all evil. Okay? It is the surefire way to be disappointed. It is part of why we become depressed, part of why we become angry, part of why we lash out at other people, because we want things to go a certain way. We forget that there are many, many, many ways to get to the outcome that you're looking for. So, for example, really, really literal example, 3 plus 5 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. There's so many ways to get there. You want a bigger example? Religion, you guys. Salvation. A clear conscience, to finish all your karma, to stop being reborn, all these things. Everybody preaches the same damn thing. It just depends on which one vibes with you the best, and you kind of follow that. That's all it is. I am ecumenical by nature. I was raised that way. My family is Hindu, but a lot of the time it's the blind leading the blind, you guys. I do this way because my mom does it that way, and she also does not know why she does it that way, but we all do it that way. I believe in being more spiritual. I am more spiritual as a being. I listen. I am intuitive. I'm based in empathy and love, basically. I can usually feel someone's energy before they actually say anything out their mouth. I usually try to read people and see if I can't anticipate what they might need and go ahead and do what I can. But I will say this. A lot of times I do things out of the goodness of my heart. What is that saying? The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? Well, I will do things out of the goodness of my heart because I feel like I can. I'm in a position to help. Why not, right? And I expect for those people to be either happy about it or appreciate the effort. But most times it kind of like misses its mark, and I'm usually yelled at or told off or some stupid shit. Anyway, the point is me expecting them to see things the way I would see things is where I start making my mistakes. To expect things to go a certain way. Like, if I do this, this, and this is what will happen. It doesn't always happen that way. There's so many other outside factors to consider. There are a lot of variables. Anything to do with humans, hugely variable. You don't know what mood they're in. You don't know what their upbringing was like. You don't know what kind of situations they've been in before. So you have no idea what your actions will mean to them. For the most part, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're good to go. But you need to let go of those expectations. I'm telling you, expectation is the root of all heartache. Let me give you another example, I guess. In my marriage, before I deemed it as a failure, I felt like if I took care of the kids, if I took care of the house, if I did everything I was expected to as a wife, if I went above and beyond and made sure that he was always taken care of, he didn't have to ask for anything, I already knew what was going to happen and I would take care of it. I figured if I did all those things, because that's the way I was raised, if I did all those things, all he had to do was take care of me. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. He took care of everyone else. And that's cool too. I mean, that's just the way he was, and I can't really change that. But he wasn't ready for a person like me in his life. And so it failed. No matter what I did, I could not get his behavior to change, mostly because he didn't want his behavior to change. He didn't see it as something he needed to change. So, therefore, I failed. I did what I was supposed to do. I lived in such a manner that there was no questioning where my loyalties lie. There was no way that anyone could say anything about me because I made sure that I did everything I possibly could to make sure our family was taken care of. I cut off friends. I cut off family members. I stopped talking to everybody. I isolated myself in order to make sure that he was comfortable and he felt confident in the relationship that we had. And that was a mistake of mine, but that's okay. I was willing to do that. I've been a loner all my life anyway. But when push came to shove, I expected him to react a certain way. And he did not react that way. So that was my fault. That was my fault. Let's see. Another example would be, okay, let me put it this way. If I cook and follow a recipe right, I can guarantee the way that the food will turn out. Okay, because there are times, there are measurements, there's a procedure that this, and this, and there's no room for error because all of those things are inanimate, right? I cut the food this way, I cook the food this way, I put this in first, I put that in afterwards. These are the seasonings, this is the amount of salt. You adjust to taste afterwards, and it's all good to go. You're fine. You follow a recipe, it works. When it comes to humans, it does not work that way. What works for one child when you're teaching them does not work for another child. If I am teaching my daughter at home, for the most part, I have to do it in like 25-minute spurts. After that, her attention span is gone. There are some times, very rarely, that she's like, oh yeah, I want to do more. And at that point, when she tells me she wants to do more, I will push to do more. But if she's telling me she's tired, she's not feeling it, or she's starting to her attention is starting to waver, I will let it go because I don't want to push her. I know that if I push her, we're just going to butt heads and we're not going to get anything done. So it's not going to be productive time. I just let it be. But it's not so much expectation as I've learned through trial and error and former expectations, and I've understood and accepted who she is and how she acts, and I've learned to read the signs. If I were to use the same methodology to teach someone else. Let's say there's a young man at our tuition facility. His name is, well, it doesn't matter what his name is. He is a very good kid. He's very, very intuitive. He's interested in history and politics. So when he sits and listens to the news, he looks up stuff about Trump. He loves NASCAR. I'm sorry, not NASCAR. It is Formula One racing. These are the things that really, really interest him. So if I were to, teach him, because I know these things about him, in order to reach him best, I need to speak to him in a language that he understands. So I would need to relate a lot of those questions, like maybe, let's say, math questions, to something to do with Formula One or something to do with politics, things that he would really identify with. So if I'm able to connect with him on that level, then I have no expectations other than the fact that maybe I will reach him. And it shouldn't be so difficult because I've actually paid attention and I've learned what he needs in order to function, in order to understand and really absorb the material that's being taught. That being said, if I were to do the same thing with someone who's getting ready to go into college, it would be very different. Their understanding level would be different, and I can't teach to them like I would someone in primary school, basically. I can't spoon feed them. They would feel like you were condescending and you were insulting their intelligence somehow. So if I were to, I would have to change my tactics and then hope for the best. So when it comes to humans, you cannot expect. The other point I really want to drive home is when you give love, when you put love out into the world, when you show gratitude and kindness, that is not meant to come with an expectation of return. That's not how the world works. I was always taught that if you give love, you should just give it. It's just to be given away like charity. You don't expect anything in return. The minute you start expecting something in return, that becomes a business arrangement. I am doing this so you can do this for me. That's not what love is. People tend to misunderstand that, if I compliment you, you should compliment me back. That's not the way the word works. That's not what love is meant to be. If I love you and I do for you, that means that I'm just doing for you because I can, and I feel like it might benefit you, and that is it. I give it away, and that's it. There are no strings attached. There's nothing left. Once it leaves my hand, it's yours. That's it. I don't want it back. I'm not looking for you to return anything in any way. But that's me. I understand what love is. I have come to know and appreciate that it is it's one-way traffic. Love is one-way traffic. It's just giving. You just give. But people don't seem to understand that. I see so many people who are expecting so much more in return. They feel like if I do this, you better understand that it took me this amount of effort to give this to you. You better do something in return. And that's like the worst possible logic where love is concerned. Love is universal. Love is unconditional. There are no strings. If you are going to expect every time you do something for someone, then you've just become a salesperson. You're selling something. How are you supposed to build a life on that? How are you supposed to build a marriage on that? How are you expecting to have your children respect you when that's what happens? Because I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what they're going to do. Because they've seen you do it, that's what they will do. That's what they will understand love as being. But that's not what love is. That goes for with your animals, that goes for with other people, that goes for everything. Love is unconditional. Love is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. There are so many things that love is, but one thing love is not is selfish. It is not looking for a return. It is not looking for you to do something for me because I did something. Scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. That's not how that works. That's business. Please try to get rid of all your expectations. It's not worth it. You were the only one who's going to be disappointed because the other person can't tell what it is you expect. It's almost like hating someone. I hate his guts because he did this, this, and this. Well, guess what? He has no idea unless you take the effort to show him every time. But even then, he's not going to be the one to hurt unless he actually really cares about you. If you grit your teeth every time somebody comes by and you're like, oh my God, I hate that person, chances are that person has no idea and could care less. The only person you're hurting is yourself. So please get rid of your expectations. A lot of times you feel like, okay, I worked really hard for one day on my business, and you know what? I should have succeeded by now. That's not how it works. You keep putting in the effort. Don't expect anything in return. Just keep putting in the effort. Like right now, I don't know if my business is failing or not, but I damn sure am putting in the effort every day. Maybe not as much effort every day. It's not consistent. But as far as my podcast is concerned, yeah, I'm doing it every day, little by little, every day. I'm making sure that I, get on the horn and talk to y'all a little bit every day, because I feel that there's value in that. I feel like I need to chronicle what it is I go through every day. I want to go back a year from now and start at the beginning and look at where I've come and the things I've accomplished and what I did in the beginning. Chances are it may be of value to me in the future, because what I do now will probably not be the same way I do it later. And let's say, I suddenly let money do all the talking and I hire people to do that and hire people to do this, forgetting the fact that I am quite resourceful and talented in a way that I can teach myself certain skills if the need arises. But if I don't document right now, I won't be able to go back and look at these things. But even then, my expectation is not that I'm going to have 1 million followers by the 100th episode. I guarantee you I don't. My expectation is that I beat who I was yesterday. I'm in competition with myself. So if I can beat who I was yesterday, then fine. That's the only expectation I have. And even then, I'm going to fail sometimes. I'm going to be like, yeah, I did a whole lot more yesterday than I did today, and I don't know how that happened, but I'll try again tomorrow. Get rid of your expectations. That's the biggest speed bump to all of you. You trip over your expectations. You expect people to notice. You expect people to care. You do all you can. You participate in groups. You talk to the mentors. You make sure that you are visible at all times. And even then, sometimes, your mentor might lead you on and then forget about you. Your mentor might not even notice you and notice other people instead. You have no idea. But the point is, don't let that sidetrack you. Don't let that sway your drive to push for your ambitions to come to fruition, okay? Don't let that sway you. Those anticipations, those expectations are your biggest problem. So please, give yourself a break. Lighten the load. Stop expecting. Do what you gotta do, no matter what. Do what you gotta do, but stop expecting. I am prepared to fail myself all the way to success. And that's why I'm going to succeed. I know I'm going to succeed. This fire I feel inside of me, I know I'm going to succeed. There's no way I can't. I'm not about to give up. I won't stop until I get what I want. That's who I've always been. If I'm in pursuit of you, you better sit down. Because I'm going to get there. I will win you. You might as well stop playing right now. But I will not expect it to be any kind of way. I will keep on trying until I have what I want. Because there is a certain amount of free will, at play here, right? You can't expect someone to like you right away. You've kind of got to earn their trust. You can't expect for people to buy your products right away. You kind of got to earn their trust. You can't expect for people to like your product or like you, buy your product, and then like the product. They may give you a bad review. It's just the way the world works. It's not a big deal. For every person that says no, okay, let's put it this way. For every 10 people that says no, there's one that's going to say yes. You just got to find that one. Don't stop trying. Don't let expectation get the better of you. Understand what it is. Recognize it when it happens. You shouldn't be expecting anything. Just do what you got to do. Focus on your work. Focus on the action. Let the results come later. Focus on the action. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Take care, and it is Halloween weekend, so y'all be very, very safe. Please keep an extra eye, a watchful eye over your kids this weekend. I know a lot of y'all out in the States are going to go trick-or-treating. Be very aware of what your child is doing, where your child is, who they're with. Stupid things happen, but they're just kids. All right, don't get mad at them. Anyway, happy Halloween, you guys. I will wish you all weekend. I know it. For those of y'all here in Singapore, Blue Jazz, my boy DJ K is actually spinning out at Blue Jazz tomorrow. So the Halloween edition of their last Friday of every month is happening tomorrow night. So go head out there, enjoy yourselves, be safe, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. All right? Bye.